Hello, and welcome to Rising Phoenix, where you can find information, tools, and hope for everyday mental health struggles. I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're going to be talking about control, and more specifically, a tool called the control boxes. Everyone wants to be in control, right? But what is control, and what do you have control over? Well, control is that which you have full power over, and the agency or ability to change. So, what is it that you or I have control over? Simply put, and generally speaking, you have control over yourself, your actions, reactions, thoughts, words, and to some degree, your emotions. And that's really it. You don't have control over the weather, the future, other people, the economy, politics, etc. This isn't to say that you don't have influence. Our words and actions certainly influence other people and events. If you want to become a professional underwater basket weaver, it is certainly not going to happen unless you put in the work to learn the craft. But, on the other hand, putting in the work doesn't guarantee you a spot in the ultra-competitive environment of underwater basket weaving. So, we have control over ourselves, but only influence outside of ourselves. Now that we've clarified that, let's talk about the control boxes. The control boxes consists of 4 boxes illustrating the interaction between control and action. Along the top, or the x-axis, you have whether or not you have control in a situation. And along the side, or the y-axis, you have whether or not you take action. So, in the top left, you have the power box. This is where you are managing and in control of the things that you have control over. Your actions, thoughts, feelings, and communication. You have a sense of agency and feel content in your ability to manage. Next, in the top right, you have the ceaseless striving box. This is where you're trying to have control over things that are not in your control. Perhaps you are worrying about what others might think, or trying to make others do what you want them to do. This is ceaseless striving, because no matter how much you try, you will never ultimately have control here, only influence. Next, in the bottom left, you have the learned helplessness box. Here, you are not managing or controlling the things that are in your power. Perhaps you're not seeing the choices you have, feeling trapped and frustrated. An example might be feeling stuck in a job you don't like because it pays well, failing to see the other options you have for employment and not asking for help, or communicating your needs with those who can help. Finally, in the bottom right, you have the acceptance box. This is where you recognize that you are not in control and you work to let go of your desire to control. Here, you can experience peace and contentment, and you relinquish control. For example, rather than worrying about what others might think about your underwater basket weaving career, you focus on the things that you can control and recognize that some people might think it is silly, but others will respect and admire you. Hopefully it is clear that the boxes that you want to be in are the power box and the acceptance box. Another important part about this diagram is that you can only move vertically, up and down, not left and right. This is because you can only change whether or not you act, not whether or not you have control. So, if you find yourself in the ceaseless striving box, the only place you can move is into acceptance. And if you're in learned helplessness, you can only move up into the power box. So, when you find yourself feeling powerless and frustrated, ask yourself, what do I have control over that I'm not managing well? And when you find yourself ragged because of all the things that you're trying to manage, ask yourself, what do I need to let go of? And sometimes you might find yourself in both places, needing to move into power and acceptance at the same time. Well, that's the end of this video. Hopefully you find this tool helpful in your everyday life, like I do. Look in the description for a link to a PDF that you can print if you would like to have this tool more handy. And please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel so you can know when more new content comes out. Until next time, please remember that you're not alone. You are loved, and, as Christopher Robin says, you're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Take care.